What if unplugging from your business is actually making your life harder? Think about this for a moment. You go away on vacation and you say to yourself, I do not want to have any distractions, no pain, no annoyances, no frustration while I go away. I just want to relax, detach, unplug, and have some time and peace and quiet with my family. But what if that exact thing is about to make your life harder? Welcome back, everyone, to a Mindset Medicine podcast. I'm Catherine Lucadu. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have been an educator for 30 years. And what I want to do is I want to help transform lives and the lives of ambitious people. Why ambitious people? Because I feel for you. I am one of them. I have the drive that you have. But here's what happens sometimes. We don't always know what that next step is. We don't know how to rein in our drive. Sometimes we actually have to rein it in. So that's what I do. I help coach and mentor ambitious women, sometimes men, who are looking for what's next. They're looking to fill in the gaps. They're looking to overcome challenges that may have come out of the blue. Maybe it's a health issue and you're trying to bounce back. Maybe it's financial, maybe it's relationship, whatever it is. I help you move from where you are to where you want to be. So today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I've got two episodes back to back, and I wanted to talk about two coaching calls that I had this week. I will never reveal names or anything like that, but I think that the message and the teaching moment behind them will really help you. So I started this off by saying, what if unplugging when you go away could actually be hurting your business? And let me explain. So, my coaching call this week was with a lady who decided that she wanted to go away for her birthday. And she and her family went away for a few days. And she decided that she was going to leave her laptop at home. Great. You're going to have a few days off and leave your technology back at home, and everything's going to be perfect. But it wasn't. So here's the situation. She went away, had a wonderful time with her family, and the moment that she got back, opened up her laptop, she realized that there were hundreds of emails, there were issues, there were problems. That immediately created an emotional reaction, right? Obviously, you're like, oh my gosh, overwhelm takes over. And then what happens is your nervous system, especially if you are a people pleaser. Are you a people pleaser where you always want to do the right thing and you really feel it emotionally, very empathetically if you don't? So that is her character. And when she got back and she saw a lot of these emails, and some people were complaining, there were people asking for things, items that needed to be responded to but weren't. The accumulation of all of that set her into a health issue, having a migraine for 2 days, not being able to do anything, because that then sparked a panic attack. So, what do we do about this? This is what I said to her. Unfortunately, and fortunately, when you're an entrepreneur, when you own a business, it is very difficult unless someone is actually stepping into your place while you're away. It is very difficult to just detach yourself from a business that doesn't stop running. So, unless you have another individual in your seat, literally taking over, or you somehow have programmed AI to take over the management of your emails, your business will continue moving forward even if you're not. And therefore, there will be this overwhelm and overload of information that you now need to deal with all at once. And it is overwhelming. And it will cause this emotional and health issue if you don't take care of it right away. So, what I said to her is this: because you are an entrepreneur and because you are a woman in business, we have a lot of things that we need to deal with all the time. Rather than getting yourself into a situation like that with this overwhelm, all you need to do is you bring your laptop with you or your phone. You can see the emails on your phone as well. Twice a day while you're away, you check your emails. So, for example, you get up a half hour before anyone else, or while everyone else is getting ready for the morning, or they're having their breakfast, or one part of that day, that time of the day, you start responding in whatever way you can to those emails. Because what happens now is you're going to lessen the work that may be sitting waiting for you at another time. You also set the expectation with clients. Unfortunately, it's just not enough these days to say that I'm going away for 4 days. You need to set the expectation of, I will be checking my emails twice a day, early in the morning and in the evening. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. If there is an emergency, if there is something that is pressing, this individual will be able to help you. So, what that does is it lessens the pressure that you need to get back to someone right away. As I said to her in our coaching call, you know, in the realm of social media, in the realm of most industries, unless you are a surgeon or something like that, it's not life or death. We may feel like it is, but it's not. So you have set the expectation with your clients that you will get back to them twice a day. If there is an emergency, here is the person you contact. This is the person who will be taking care of things while I'm away, if there needs to be someone on the ground. You have given yourself the same expectation that you will only be checking your emails twice a day. You can have an auto response go out to every email. I check my emails twice a day. I'm currently away for my birthday. Here's what I explained to her. If you have clients who are not understanding about this, are they the right client for you? Is that who you want to be working with? As an entrepreneur, you have the choice of who you choose to work with. If you had a 9 to 5 job, you would be able to go away on your vacation. You could detach from your phone. I know many people do. And I know many people who have a corporate job, an executive job, where they are able to, I posted, I'm away for 1 week or 2 weeks. That's what I'm taking. And they don't have to do anything with work. But when you run a business, it's not the same thing. So we talked about our emotional reaction to things as well, right? You know, getting to the point where it creates the migraine, the panic attack. So here's what I said to her. What is the worst thing that can happen if you don't answer those emails immediately? Nothing was an emergency, right? Nothing when you are taking care of social media accounts or other things like that. You're a social media manager. Nothing is an emergency. What would have been the worst case scenario? That you respond the day after you come home? That you respond a few hours after you arrive and you relax, and maybe you say, I'm just going to start responding to the oldest emails first? Our minds tend to exaggerate and always go to the scenario where it's the end of the world. It's terrible. I don't know how I'm going to, whatever, fill in the blank. In actuality, 6 months from now, none of that happened will make a difference in your life. It will be forgotten. Nobody will remember you were away for 4 days and didn't respond within 12 hours to their email. Honestly, sometimes we really need to look at the big picture and just how important things really are in the grand scheme of things. When I started doing that in my business, and I have been in different industries, I've been in different businesses, but I will tell you, uh, having been in the real estate industry, where there are many people who want us to be like Amazon, right? So I want to see a property now. Okay. Well, first we need to check with the seller. Is that okay? I need to see if I'm available to show it to you now when you want to see it. So there are all these little things that over the years I learned, do I want to be on call to show properties, or should I be running my business like a professional where people book an appointment? So I used to say to myself, and this is what I explained to my client, if you want people to treat you with respect and in a professional way, you have to carry yourself with respect in a professional way. So if you believe you are as professional as a doctor or a lawyer or these professions that have a respect attached to them, but you happen to be in an industry where that doesn't really carry through to you, then it's up to you to create it. It's up to you to create the response that you want from people, the respect that you want from people. So I started doing that in my businesses probably 8 to 10 years ago. So what I would do is someone would call and say, I'd like to book a showing on a property. And I would say, that's fine. Let me check my schedule. Let me check and let me see what we can do. Unfortunately, I know I would get back to them a few minutes later. Unfortunately, I'm unable to show that property today. What I can do is on Monday at 3 o'clock or Monday at 6 o'clock, we can arrange to do that. If this is someone who doesn't know who I am, likely they would say, nope, I'm going to go find someone else. And I would say, by all means, go find someone who can run and open that door for you. Here's what I know about people like that. If all you want me to do is open a door, then you don't respect any part of what I do or the education or value that I can offer you in return. So therefore, we're probably not a good fit to work together regardless. The people who said, absolutely, I understand, let's arrange for Monday at 3, now I know I've got a keeper. So as that has evolved, now when someone asks me, can you show me that property? First they say, hi, how are you? I'm wondering what your availability is to show me this property. I know it's last minute. If we can't make it today, what about? And they provide alternatives because I have set that expectation up with people that you are going to get amazing service, first class service. You are going to get trust and transparency. I'm going to provide you education and value and guide you, not always tell you what you want to hear, but really show you what would be in your best interest in protecting you. So sometimes we have to make these hard decisions about how we are going to run our business. And so many entrepreneurs don't take the time to think about this. How do you want people to see you and respect you and treat you as a business owner? And do you exude that to them on the other end? Are they feeling as though you are a professional in the way that you react, in the way that you communicate, in all that you do? So often we see small businesses and they'll have their hours of work on the door. So you know what those hours of work are. You go there and it's closed. There's no sign to say why they're away. And I'm talking just about, like a storefront business. When I am coaching entrepreneurs who own storefront businesses, this is also part of what I explain to them. If you are trying to create a trust and a relationship with people, then you have to hold your word. If you have store hours, keep to your hours regardless if anyone is walking in or not. If you have an online business and you know that you are unable to respond to people for the next 12 hours, maybe there's an emergency in the family, just put an auto response saying, I'm unable to respond for the next 12 hours. All people need from you is an expectation of when to hear back from you. That's it. It's actually that simple. That also helps our emotional regulation because we have less amount of people getting angry, upset, disappointed. We can avoid all of that if we just communicate, we set the expectations, and we create a strategy for our business if we know that we have certain limitations of what we can do. We have limitations on our time. We have limitations on how we can service you. We may not be able to go over and above on the particular area that they want us to. So, this is really important as an entrepreneur that you have all this in place, and so many people do not, which is why they end up having burnout and health issues as a result of having a business. Because let me tell you, being an entrepreneur is not easy. And if you haven't had previous guidance on how to do it, how to run a business, how to communicate, how to discuss value, and weighing the value you want to offer people against your time and your effort, right? It's a really difficult balancing scale to get right. But when you do, that is when you can actually begin to grow your business and scale, but not until you have these strategies in place. So in the end, she was very grateful for this. She was going to start using some of these strategies the next time that she has something going on, even whether it's a child that's sick, rather than having to call a million people and apologize because, whatever's happened, have something in place, knowing that life happens and sometimes we need to make adjustments. But if you have a strategy in place for that, you won't be left feeling overwhelmed, feeling sick about it, feeling guilty, because it'll all be laid out there for you. I hope you have found this episode helpful. If you need help, if you need guidance or a coach to help you fill in those gaps, to help you overcome those challenges you are having as an ambitious individual in business, that is what I'm here to do. That is how I help you. Click the link below if you'd like to schedule a discovery call with me. And I've got some additional links below that will lead you to some blogs, some courses, and anything else you're looking for. If you like this episode, share it with someone who may need to hear it. Maybe you know of a friend who really is having a hard time dealing with their business. This might help them. I'll see you next week.